Hey guys, welcome back to Voice of a Teen Mom in 2024. Yes, I know it's a new year and I'm definitely late to the new year party, and so I must say to everyone a happy new year for 2024. It's a new year and I must say how grateful and thankful I am for all my viewers, everyone that supported me in 2023. Oh my gosh, I must say that it was quite overwhelming. I mean, I expected some support, but I know that it's great to hear the feedback from everyone and to actually talk to people and get their feedback on things that they liked about the videos last year, and as well as things that they are looking forward to. I mean, I've just missed probably a month since the new year has started, and I have gotten a lot of questions, a lot of messages like, what is happening? Why am I not seeing any videos? And I'm sorry guys, I'm just late to this party, but here I am, and once I've started, then you know that this is it. So let's get right into this first episode of Voice of a Teen Mom for 2024. So I believe the best way to start a new year is to actually do a review of what has happened in the past year. And so for Voice of a Teen Mom, this video is geared towards doing a year in review, to recap all our videos and to actually have a better grasp of all that we have done, and to help you guys, if you haven't yet watched all the videos, to kind of get a feel of what has taken place throughout last year. I mean, some people think of the new year as, oh, it's just the start of another day, and for sure it's definitely that. However, it's like getting another chance to recap all that has happened throughout a particular season of your life, and to actually think about the next step and the other plans that you have for yourself. And so for Voice of a Teen Mom, this is like a recap of all that has happened, all the videos that we've done thus far, and to actually have a clear view of what's next. So what's next for us? So this is Voice of a Teen Mom Year in Review 2023. So don't mind me, this is like a countdown in reverse order. So my first video, what's next, pregnant at 14. Let me just say that this was one of the hardest things I've had to do. I've made this video and had it for a very long time, because this was something I've always planned on doing. The starting of it, trust me, I was in dilemma with myself as to when was the right time. And so this moment I'll always cherish, because it was a step forward. Sometimes we have so many plans in our heads written down, and it's a struggle to actually get it done. And this is like the new season for me, where I decided that, look, it's time. Like there's nothing that I'm waiting on, really. It's just a hustle and a fight with myself as with time. But hey, I've overcome the fear, as I talked about in my first video, and thus it's the start of the new season, and it strikes the start of Voice of a Teen Mom. Moving on to number 9, it's my second video, how I found out I was pregnant. Now, talking about my mom usually gets me so emotional, and it's weird. My mother is such a strong woman. I mean, she puts her children above herself. Most of the times it's painful, and this was an occasion where she did that, and she actually guided me through the different steps, because really and truly I was a teen. I didn't know what to do, what I was going to do, how it was going to turn out, but it was her. As I explained in this video, that finding out that you're pregnant as a teen is a very traumatic moment. I mean, no matter how strong that little girl may seem, it's very traumatic. And so having a support system is something that we all need overall, and in this case is needed. And I know that sometimes the teen moms don't have that, and I explained in the video how it went and how it went with my mom finding out. It's a very traumatizing moment, but hey, it's something that you will cherish in my case, because it brought the relationship with my mom a little closer, and with that bond that we share a little closer. And that's something I love about us now, and I probably wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for the situation. So sometimes you have to take out and dig deep for the good of what a situation brings, even though that situation was traumatic or wasn't one of the best situations at the time. Number 8 is episode 3, High School Dropout. Now, this one was targeted towards my teen moms, because at this juncture of finding out about your pregnancy as a teenager is hard. This is where you realize that a lot of the consequences of this particular action is starting to catch up with you. And so this is a time when you will be hard on yourself overall, as well as you will be scrutinized, criticized, you'll be judged so harshly, and you will be in a situation where everyone is kind of judging you. But you need to ensure that at the end of the day, you're taking care of yourself mentally. And this is a mental struggle. And so don't worry about that. It's pretty much just a season. And there are plenty of options, as I went on in other videos to tell you about. And so it's not the end. It's just a particular moment. So that was what High School Dropout was, and the video that gave my experience and how it went after I stopped going to school at the moment because of my pregnancy. Number 7 and number 6 is all about the Women's Center of Jamaica, and they were my saving grace basically after dropping out of high school. I mean, they were the ones that program helped you to stay abreast with what is happening, read your education, still do classes, learn life skills, get counseling, and then you are definitely placed back into a high school, or you are able to do your CXCs if you're actually at that age. So my experience at the Women's Center of Jamaica was definitely a great one, and was another season of my life where I realized that yes, my actions had consequences, but I also had hope. And that hope and the light at the end of the tunnel was actually being seen once I was at the Women's Center. Once I realized that I wasn't alone in this dilemma of mine. There were other girls that were going through the same things, and the Women's Center was able to help with that aspect of things. Moving on to number 5, labor and delivery. Now, this video was definitely about sharing my experience as a teenage mother, going to the hospital, having to deal with the scrutiny, as I've always heard, and I shared that with you in this video about all that I've heard about when teenage mothers go into the hospital, and sometimes the persons there, which includes the staff, might scrutinize and might judge you. And so I gave my experience with that, which wasn't really a bad one, and so I was sharing it with you all. It's also geared towards any pregnant woman in terms of an experience of when you go to deliver your baby. The delivery process, you are always unsure, especially if it's your first child, and so I was just sharing my experience with that. Video number 4 was about giving you guys tips for all my pregnant women out there. These are all the tips that I garnered in order to help you have a safe pregnancy and have a safe delivery when it's time. And some of the tips included telling you about the general checkups that you should have, taking your prenatal vitamins, ensuring that you are packing that hospital bag during your 9 months and all those good stuff. So most of the other videos after this one were definitely towards ensuring that you are informed in terms of what you will need in your hospital bag, where the first one was actually an edition for babies. So whatever the baby will need, it was explained in that video of all the different items that I believe were necessary and is a must have when going to the hospital. As well as the last video was about the hospital bag and what the mother needs. I mean, you can't have things in the bag and not put things in there for yourself to ensure that you are comfortable while you are going through this process at the hospital, and to ensure that you have everything that you will need to take care of yourself and the baby. This brings me to my number one reason for doing our first video of the year, which is to tell you guys happy new year from Voice of a Teen Mom. I couldn't have kickstarted this new season without telling you guys happy new year. Even if I'm late, I just had to. So thank you all so much for your continued support, and this is the start of 2024. I wish you guys all the best, and I hope that you guys will start to do whatever you have in mind for this year. Thank you guys, and see you in video number 2.